From the News Channel 8 studios, let's talk live with your hosts, Natasha Barrett and Doug McKelway.
Welcome to Let's Talk Live.
Good old Monday here. Not too bad outside, though.
Not too bad. Not too bad. We had such a beautiful weekend that I can deal with a cloudy Monday.
Yeah, if we can have some rain today, we'll forgive it, right?
Yeah.
We have a very good show for you today. We're going to take a look at why more people are finding love and what it could have to do with the economy.
Love is cheap. You don't have to fork out a lot of dough to fall in love.
Love is not cheap for me, all right?
Ooh, I forgot about that. That's
I'm
right.
kidding. All women like jewelry. That's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Also coming up, how one teacher used fun lessons to teach her students safety.
And tips to liven up your summer grilling. Well, we don't need to tell you that times are tough.
But in the middle of this financial downturn, there is one industry that is seeing a boom in business.
Yeah, can you guess? What do you think?
It's not the repo man. Well, he may be doing pretty well.
It's matchmakers. This downturn in the economy prompted an upswing in possible romance. Christie Nightingale, the owner of PremierMatch, is here. And there's really been a jump in business. You've been doing this for 10 years, and you said your last year was awesome.
It was incredible, and I really believe it's because of the economy.
So who's calling on you? Big names here in D.C.?
All different types of people. We have clients that are business types, politicos. We have society types, very well known.
You can't name names because you're under contract, right?
Right, I can't.
Can you give us initials?
AB, I don't.
Come on.
But the fact of the matter is, people are lonely, and this is a time in this financial mess where people need comfort. Human comfort.
Yeah, I mean, I believe that in these tough times, it activates a coping mechanism where people really are drawn to try to find somebody that they can, have support and love and be able to make it through.
You know, if I was going to go to a dating service, I would go to one run by a woman with a name like Christie Nightingale.
Well, thank you.
It sounds like you'll save us.
It sounds
we
like
can put faith in you or something like
got
that.
A special quiver of arrows.
Where do you begin? Where do you begin? Someone calls you up and says, "Hi, I'm interested in doing this." First of all, is it expensive?
Well, you know something, it's not expensive when you think about an investment for something that might change your life. So it's reasonable.
So do you have things set up like it costs this much to start, and if it's a successful love match, you have to pay up this much? Or, I mean,
no, we have a one-year retainer that we work with, and each client is bringing forth a set of criteria. So we tailor the search around what they desire. So someone calls us, and then we go over what our program offers, and they tell us what they're seeking, and then we schedule an in-person interview, and then we determine whether or not we can work with them as a search agent, and then we take on a client, and then we start the search, and it's we facilitate introductions throughout the year.
And are they videotaped? Do you have videotapes of the prospective client? Or do they meet somebody else on videotape, or how does that work?
Videotaping is so 80s.
I love it. I love it.
No, we don't videotape. But what we do...
Twitter? I don't know.
No, we don't Twitter either. What we do is we do take photographs of each of our clients, and we keep them on file. We don't, we discourage photo swapping because we believe that a particular snapshot doesn't really give the essence of an individual when we're trying to match.
So you don't want someone to judge a book by its cover kind of thing?
Well, exactly. I find a lot of people get themselves into ruts when they only go with what a person's image is on a photograph rather than really paying attention to the essence of the personality and what that person brings about as far as,
Yeah.
You must have clients that say, I want this type of girl and this type of make and this type of model, right?
Oh yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
And you know what's really interesting is that we kind of go along with what they desire for a few months, and then when we don't start seeing a turn as far as they're getting into a relationship, we'll say, okay, let's now do it our way, because we've been doing this a long time and we're pros at it. So let's take on a different approach here, and let's see if maybe we can achieve success. And a lot of times, yes, if they allow us to change and kind of, we can find them somebody.
Now you have offices not only in D.C. but in Philadelphia and New York City as well. Do you find that there's different kind of clientele in each of the cities?
Yes, yeah, there's definitely a different demographic in each city.
And what's Washington's demographic?
Yeah, what kind of women do Washingtonians want?
Well, you know something, the women here, first of all, we have more of a population of clients that are from the South. So a lot have, traveled and I guess have relocated. There's a lot of individuals that haven't really grown up here. So they tend to be new in town. They seem to be a lot more open-minded to exploring, different types of people. I find that the Philadelphians, they tend to have grown up there.
Right.
They're really rooted in,
Hometown
and their hometown. If they're from the main line, they only want to meet people on the main line, which is an area of Philadelphia, and it's very interesting. And then New Yorkers, I mean, they're tough up there. They're really tough. It's like they sign up for membership and they think that they're going to have instantaneous results because they paid for it. It's like buying an appliance or some sort of whatever. Yeah.
They want to get their money's worth. Your success rate is pretty good.
Yeah, we have an 87% success rate.
Sounds very scientific. So you must be busy going to people's weddings. Do they invite you to their weddings or things like that?
Yes, I have gone to many weddings, and I was mentioning earlier that I just went to an engagement party last week, which was lovely.
And do these people like to show it off, like, hey, we met through a matchmaker service, or do they just like to say, oh, one of our friends? What do they do?
Well, some are very open about that and will toast to who we are as far as being the ones that introduce them, while others are really secretive about that and really would like to keep it under wraps. So it really depends.
The traditional interpretation of people who use these kinds of services is they don't like the bar scene, they don't like to go out, they don't like the meat market kind of thing. Is that what still holds true?
Well, a lot of clients tend to, they've tried the internet and they haven't seen any results come of that. A lot of misrepresentation, a lot of dishonesty. It's also
We've
a
seen
lot.
that
It's
on
very
Craigslist in a very big.
There's some scary people on the internet.
And I'm surprised it
know.
hasn't come about sooner than it has with the Craigslist situation. But also, the bar scene and the internet scene, we say there's about a 10% success rate as far as finding somebody that is going to be an appropriate candidate for a relationship. And a lot of it is because you meet them, you don't really know anything about them, and you find out about them moving forward as far as they not being appropriate. A lot are still married. They won't disclose that at the beginning, but then that comes out later on. And services like with our company, PremierMatch, we do background checks. We make sure that their information is truthful so that we can kind of step ahead of all those different times.
That's good to hear, because you never know who you're going to get your hands on sometimes.
Does it cover the gamut? Does it, from people who are looking for marriage and a lifelong partner to the person who says, I don't have time for a relationship, I want a friend with benefits?
He puts it so nicely.
We get all kinds of requests. But the common goal here is that everybody's seeking a relationship. So, if they're looking for marriage, yes, we have the whole crowd that's looking for marriage, would like to start families. We also work with clients that are older, that have been married before, maybe have grown children.
Maybe want some companionship.
Right, or looking for a lifetime companion.
Now, Christie, I have to get your take on this. Have you watched The Millionaire Matchmaker? It's a popular show on Bravo where they have you seen the show, Doug?
Seen it, no.
It's very popular, and I think Patty's her name.
Yeah.
She's out in Hollywood.
She's called me a few times.
Has she really?
Yeah.
Now, what do you think of her in that show?
Well, first of all, her take on how she matches her clients is very different from the way we match ours. I don't take a bachelor and then surround him with a bunch of women and let the women fawn on him and then he can pick and choose who he wants. That's not how we work.
How about vice versa?
Well, what we do is we try to match two people together based on what they're desiring, their background, their personality, everything.
Yeah, because for people that haven't watched Millionaire Matchmaker, she basically makes over the person. I'll take Doug and say, what you're wearing? No, you're not going to get any girls with that. And do you give any hints or advice that way to people?
It's certain people we will, but a lot of our clients don't need a makeover. A lot of our clients are good people. They're bright, they're educated, they're well-traveled, they're savvy, they're sophisticated. They don't need to have their wardrobe changed. They don't need all this. They don't have enough time. They're busy. They're running their businesses. They seek out a service like ours to help them with that.
We don't have much time left, but I want to ask you one question. Everybody's got friends that say, I'm at that time in my life, I can't find anybody, and we always tell them it's going to happen when it happens. It's that line nobody wants to hear. What would you say to a friend like that that's just having trouble, wants to find somebody and settle down, but it's not happening?
Well, first of all, I think timing is everything, and I think a lot of people say they want a relationship, but they're not ready for a relationship. So you have to focus from within and then really believe if you want a relationship that you'll find one.
Interesting.
Right. Well, thank you for getting people together.
Thank you.
That's a wonderful thing.
That's a neat career. I bet you have a book brewing in your head from the people you've met. If only you could tell.
Yeah, a fly on the wall. That's what it should be called.
Seriously. Let us know if you want to write it.
Christie Nightingale, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good to have you here.
Next year on Let's Talk Live, we'll talk to the grand prize winner of Got to Be Safe and find out how she teaches kids more than just stranger danger.
And we're going to weigh in on the excitement surrounding the White House Correspondents' Dinner over the weekend.
And email us at letstalklive@news8.net. Be right back.